and welcome to today's vlog. I am making my new hyperfixation breakfast, which if you were watching Janu Daily, then you know that I have been on a kick to learn how to make my own sourdough bread. I have not perfected it. I'm okay with that. I'm making improvements each time I make a loaf, so I'm happy with that. But you guys, avocado on homemade sourdough, next level. You probably already know this, and it seems like it would probably be common sense. It is so good. I do not think this avocado is properly ripe though. Shame on Food Lion for having only extremely hard avocados, making this the most potentially ripe one in the pick. And I just don't think that it is. But you know what? It's still gonna be delicious, and I'm still very excited about it. Again, thank you to all of you who sent me love regarding Bailey, our elderly puppy dog, who has sadly crossed over Rainbow Bridge. We are all doing mostly okay. We are sad, obviously. I will say our situation was tricky because ours was mostly due to her cognitive state, to like remain balanced. Okay, no sir! She was losing her balance and having a harder time with her back legs, but the real main issue is she was just forgetting kind of who she was and where she was, which was causing her a lot of anxiety and a lot of restlessness, which again, if you watched Janu Daily, then you could probably clock it in the back of some of our videos. It was just a really tough situation. If you've ever been in that situation, then you know that it's just the most agonizing decision you ever have to make, and made again more difficult because we have a 3-year-old who is also grieving her loss. We also have a cat who has only known his life with Bailey in it, and we have this doof who seems better than most of us, but again, only knows his life with Bailey in it. And did you know that animals grieve the loss of each other? It has just been kind of a sad few days. We're finally coming out of the haze a little bit, and I think we're getting back into like the swing of life after Janu Daily ending, which was so much fun. Ton of work, but so much fun. And so today is mainly about getting some much needed work done. I spent this morning off camera taking off my Gel-X nails. I was debating whether or not I was going to do another fill-in with Builder Gel, and then I took off the Gel-X and I really heavily considered whether or not I was just going to do Builder Gel over my natural nail that had grown out quite a bit. But I did ultimately decide to just hack them all off, and I will likely do another set either this evening or maybe sometime tomorrow. So I feel kind of back to my normal self, because if you guys know me at all, you know that I love a short nail because I'm on the computer way too much. I do really love the way that the longer nail looks. I love the almond shape. I like that you can do almond shape pretty short too, so it's a little bit of an upgrade from like the stubs, but not so much of an extension that it gets in the way of life. But I feel really kind of glad to have these hacked off for the moment, and looking forward to like a productive day without a click clack. But anyway, let's get the rest of this day started. What's up, man? This is such a small victory, and I feel dumb that I couldn't figure out how to do it before. But about 2 years ago, we had a very different schedule in our house, and we set up our Alexa to automatically turn off the lights in our house at 8:30 in the morning. And about a month and a half after we set that up, our entire schedule changed. I just last night figured out how to cancel that automation. So for the last 2 years at 8:30 every morning, I have had to tell Alexa, turn the lights back on. It's such a small thing. It was supposed to be something that helped us, and yet setting it up actually caused us more drama the last 2 years. It's a very little thing. I'm realizing that like this is not even worth discussing. But if you could only know how very jazzed I am to have figured that out. In case you were wondering, I have been trying to do it in the light setting because we have these smart lights in our house, and for some reason I just assumed that's where it was. Could not find the setting, could not find it, didn't know what to do with it. So then I just kept asking Alexa to cancel that setting. Like, hey, cancel the setting, turns our lights off every day at this time, and she never would. So I'm like, all right, well, I guess we'll just live with this for the rest of our lives. It was in the Alexa app. Again, don't know why that did not occur to me until last night, but it did not occur to me until last night. And that tiny little thing, like 8:30 came and went, and our lights were still on, and it was glorious. And I feel like a ginormous moron, but at least I'm a moron in the light. Anyway, if you are wondering what I'm doing, I am refilling our refillable Nespresso pods. We have one of the older Nespressos. I think it was like called the Innis or something. I don't think they sell our exact machine anymore. It's several years old, but still works great. Probably the best investment we've made in our house, or at least one of the best investments we've made. I make a coffee in it at least once a day. Sometimes I'll make one and my husband will make one. I make a double shot mocha latte. It would cost me at least $7 if I went to a coffee shop to get that sized coffee. I buy the espresso from a local coffee shop, so I still feel like I'm supporting local. These little refillable pods are from Amazon, and it takes maybe 10 minutes every 10 days to get them resorted. Better coffee than what you would get in the actual pods that you buy. They're way less expensive that way. And it's just, I don't know, I actually really enjoy this little process. I love, like, this is gonna sound ridiculous, I love like a menial task. Like, I love a task where I can turn my brain off. I think it's because everything I do requires so much of my brain. I had a job several years back that required quite a bit of my brain, but there was one thing that I had to do every single day, and I had systemized it. It was not this way when I got there, but I had systemized it to where the, like, act of it itself was something I could just like put a podcast on and like just let my fingers do the click clacking. And it was so, I find stuff like that really relaxing. I have a task like that in my current job too, where like I was at a meeting with my boss a couple weeks ago and she's like, I'm really sorry, but I have these updates I need you to make. And I'm like, I love that. Like, I love that kind of stuff. I do not know what that says about me. Like, give me like data to update? Yes, ma'am. You want me to input some stuff? Absolutely, let's do it. You mean I can listen to an audiobook and do my job? Let's go. Because obviously I'm a writer, I'm a creative. Those things require all of my brain, like literally all of my brain. Sometimes more of my brain than I know is in there. So if you give me a task, maybe that's why I like cleaning so much too. Not that like cleaning doesn't require your brain if that's like your job. I just mean like once you set up your systems with it, like you know what solutions to use, you know what tools to use, you have your like regimen with it. You just like put on a podcast or like an audiobook, go to town. Like, I love being productive while not having to think. I think that's a very specific thing. I'm probably alone in that, but if I'm not, can you let me know? It's also probably something I should bring up in therapy, because I feel like that says a lot about who I am as a person. I don't know what else says a lot about who I am as a person. Not that you are asking these questions, but something I realized the other day, I'm the kind of person that will rearrange the pepperoni on a frozen pizza. It's true. I will literally rearrange the pepperoni on your pepperoni pizza, or like any of the toppings, really. Like whatever toppings came on your pizza or my pizza, any pizza that I'm like gonna serve somebody, I will reorganize the toppings so that the bite to topping ratio is more satisfactory. Things I think about, things that matter to me. I might be showing a little bit of my crazy here. It's fine. For dinner, I am making essentially the poor man's version of like a crazy fire meal. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, then you're missing out, to be quite honest. I don't know if they even still exist. I feel like the pandemic probably would have taken them out. In fact, the last time I went to a crazy fire was the week before everything happened with the pandemic, but essentially it's like a Mongolian restaurant. I was going to make enchilada casserole and I just don't feel like it. I have mushrooms that need to get used in our fridge and I have ground beef, and I was like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm going to make up a mixture of ground beef, mushrooms, a little bit of beef broth and some seasonings with some onions, and then I'm going to put that over cauliflower rice, and we're gonna call that dinner. And that may not sound very appealing to you, but it is quite delicious. If you'd rather, instead of putting it over rice, if you would rather put it on a bun or in a sandwich hoagie, it makes a really good like knockoff Philly cheesesteak if you put like provolone cheese on it. So it makes great leftovers too, because then what we'll make tonight, we may be able to have for sandwiches for dinner tomorrow night, which is not a bad plan. So let's go ahead and make that because it'll be ready in about 5 minutes, which is excellent. And that's gonna be dinner served. I don't want to cook Wade something totally separate from what we're having, so I'm actually gonna make like these little, I don't know, like roll-ups that I make sometimes with a little bit of the filling and some cheese, and then I just pop it in the air fryer for 4 minutes after I roll it up. It's hot like fire, but this is what they come out looking like. So it's like a little roll up. I'm gonna just, oh no, pan was hot. And I just like melted my thing to it. Anyway, I'm just gonna put a layer of cauliflower rice. I'm not very hungry, so I'm not gonna do a ton of food. Cauliflower rice, and then a little bit of the meat mixture, which sounds disgusting, but it's quite delicious. Okay. And then I think I'm gonna take this relatively healthy, pretty low calorie dinner and ruin it with a little bit of yum yum sauce. I guess I'm not ruining it because 2 tablespoons is the serving size, and I'm not using 2 tablespoons. I definitely used half a tablespoon. It's still like 70 calories to have just a little bit of sauce, but whatever. And that's dinner. It looks gross, but I promise it's delicious. I feel like it's very possible that I might regret doing this because I'm also very ready to go to bed already. It's only 6:30, so that's embarrassing. So I'm gonna power through and do my nails. I have upgraded my setup a little bit. I have also already picked out the nails that I'm gonna use. However, I do not know yet what I wanna do for a nail art design. So luckily I have some time to think about that because we have a while before we're gonna get there in this process. So for right now, I'm just gonna clean up my cuticles and get the actual nails applied. And I'll probably just show you guys what I end up with at the end because I've shared the Gel X situation before and I just don't have it in me to film that tonight and to do them. I'll be back with like whatever I end up deciding to do. I wonder if I could do like a cool transition. Let's try. This is what we're with. The transition was a total fail. Okay, let's actually try this again. I'm in the bathroom where the lighting is better. Let me see if I can actually show you what I ended up doing with my nails. The lighting is important and I can't capture it for some reason. There we go. I tried to do like a glass effect. Is it translating? I don't know. I want to become one of those people that has like a baking schedule. I'm getting close. Not quite there yet because I prepped both of these loaves. The loaf we just finished and this loaf a couple of days ago. And then it's my plan. I also forgot to feed my starter yesterday. It's a problem, it'll be fine. So I'm gonna revive her today because I hope to be able to prep 2 more loaves tomorrow. Let's score this up and get her in the oven. My Dutch oven has already been preheating for an hour. Alexa, set timer for 25 minutes. I really feel like I'm getting the hang of this. Look at that little loaf. That's a happy little loaf. That's also a happy little loaf. Oh, less happy your buddy left. Please explain to me how the universe just aligned that when my husband was leaving for work, the kiddo got really sad. So my husband brought him to work with him. I'm in the house alone. I don't know what to do with myself. I'm kind of short-circuiting because there's about 100 things that I want to do and I'm afraid I'm just gonna get paralyzed into doing nothing. I have to go pick up my kid in an hour anyway, but an hour is an hour. So with that, actually, I'm gonna go ahead and end this video here. And then I'm gonna go get, I don't know, a bunch of stuff done for the next hour. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. If this content resonated with you at all, or you just feel like we could be friends, go ahead and subscribe, like, comment down below, and let me know what you make for dinner when you're in a pinch. Kind of like I was in last night, where I just really didn't feel like making the meal that I had planned. Do you have like a go-to meal? Do you have like stuff that you generally keep in your pantry at all times, just in case? I'd love to know what that is. Share down below, help other people out as well. I will see you all again very, very soon. Bye.